don't know what to do.
I know, I'm just like, I'm just gonna take my own breaks.
Hey, Charlie! Charlie! It's back there! Woo!
Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem, and remain standing until we finish with the student prayer.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave?
Good morning. My name is David Cummins, Principal, South Laurel High School. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration, we welcome you to this commencement program for the class of 2012. We're honored that you, the parents, family, and friends, our seniors, are here this morning to share this special occasion. Before we begin, I would like to recognize Andrea Holland, representing will lead the students in prayer.
Let us bow our heads. Lord, we come to you today with mixed feelings. We are joyful in our celebration of our accomplishments, and yet we are sad that after today, each of our lives will take separate paths. But we take comfort in your word, knowing that it is you, our Lord and Savior, who tells us that there is a season for everything. Time to come together and time to tear apart. We come to you with hearts full of thanksgiving because we know it is through you, each of us, that we have reached this milestone. We pray for your hand of grace to guide us as we each start our new journeys. We know that you have plans of prosperity for our future, and only through you can we reach the full potential of those plans. Bless us, day, Lord, and all those gathered here to celebrate. We ask this in your precious name, Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Andrea. You may be seated. With us today are some heads on the platform that I would like to introduce. We have Mr. Tress, Interim Superintendent of the Laurel County Schools, Ms. Denise Griebel, Deputy Superintendent, and Mr. Randy Ledger, Assistant Superintendent. Also on the platform are the members of the Laurel County Board of Education, Ms. Lola Reed, Mr. Ed Jones, Mr. Joe Schinkenfelder, Mr. Tommy Smith, and Ms. Stuber. We also have the 3 teacher members of the Site-Based Decision-Making Council, Ms. Carrie Kirby, Ms. Jana Bailey, and Colonel Mark Jones. I also want to do a special recognition this time. We have 3 faculty members who are joining the ranks of the retired this year, and I would like to recognize them. First of all, we have Mr. Marvin Hurley. And he is retiring as his son graduates today. Miss Joanne Durham. Actually retiring for a second time. And Miss Donna Gail House, who was unable to be with us today. And it is my honor and privilege to introduce Mr. Doug Bennett, Superintendent of the Laurel County Schools, on July 1st, 2012. Mr. Bennett would like to share a few words with you at this time.
Good morning, Laurel County. It's certainly a pleasure to be here, and they told me I had to limit my comments to 60 minutes. I cut it in half. I know you didn't come here today to hear me speak, but I just wanted to tell you that I'm excited about being the new superintendent of Laurel County, effective July 1. Also, it's an honor for me to be here on your big day and to help recognize this milestone in your life. It's been a long road getting here. It's taken a lot of hard work, perseverance, and commitment, and I applaud your accomplishment. Also, I'd like to acknowledge your parents, families, teachers, administrators, board members, support staff, many of whom are here today, because each of them have played some part in helping you reach this moment here today. And I'm sure that you've heard the expression that every drop of water shapes the stone. Likewise, in many ways, all those folks that I just mentioned, in some ways, have helped shape you to be the person you are today. And I'm sure they would agree how important it is for each of you to set high goals and things. You inherit a world that is in desperate need of greatness, that is in need of great leaders, people of integrity, people who have principles. From what I know about Laurel County Schools and from meeting many of you already and your staff, you are blessed in that you are surrounded by parents, families, a community, and a district staff and board members that care deeply, not just about getting you to this day, but what you do after this day. And with that, you all, I am confident, are prepared for the challenges of the 21st century. Having said that, graduating class 2012 of South Laurel, I congratulate you and I wish you the greatest of success. Thank you very much.
The competition for the top academic honors this year at South Laurel High School was intense. Each student is going to provide a brief reflection on their school experiences here. So at this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Taha Manvawala, our salutatorian, to please come to the podium for some brief comments.
Just to be clear, I've never seen so many people in one sitting in my entire life. Forgive me if I cry on the way. You begin life with a breath. It's such a simple action that we take for granted every moment. Yet, by the miraculous complexities of human physiology, this mirror gives us more. From this breath, there is life. And as the force, we establish an unprecedented reservoir of human experience, in which you establish something much profound. And that something is you. Here we are, tentatively 17 to 18 years after that first breath, ready to accept that long-awaited diploma, to put aside the old, defined by the last few years of our lives. I dare you to ask yourselves, how many times have you daydreamed about this moment? How many times have you felt yourself drift off during lectures, fantasizing about how you would spend your days as if life were an eternal summer? How many times have you wanted to smash your head with a brick or other heavy object every time you heard the word homework during the last few months? Well, today, reality. We are convinced that leading will be an for burn and tedious and endure the last 4 years. We should remember we're even. Most of us, high school has never lived in 5 period-a-day classes. Rather, it is in the time spent at home is cleared, when the bells and finally come to a blissful end. It is the time spent with nerdy teachers, ending Nerf gun wars with epic proportions. It is about sore arms and bruised legs after hours of practice with a dedicated team. And most importantly, it's about the ceaseless joking, the common struggles, and the infinite support within a diverse array of true friends. Class of 2012, it pains me to say that the seemingly limitless time we've spent together these last 4 years will come to a screeching halt by this afternoon. We've struggled together, we achieved together, and we have united together to make each breath we've taken something worth fighting for. As we part our separate ways, the bonds of friendship forged these long years will be more than just a memory. As you facilitate into the real world, as you are knocked down the realities life has in store, never forget the hearts and you with the virtues of courage, endurance, and justice that drives your spirits. Never forget the hope that has pushed you to a new level. Never forget the allies that made it all possible. Class of 2012, I'm you. I sincerely wish you a blessed path for your endeavors. You have helped further mine. Overall, it's safe to say that you have left me breathless. Godspeed, and may the force be with you.
Thank you, Todd. The valedictorian honor for the class of 2012 was achieved by not one, but 2 young ladies this year, Miss Hannah James and Miss Liza Bussell. Hannah, will you please come forward at this time?
Good morning, teachers, administrators, and family members. I thank you for coming on this Saturday. Fellow peers, we have almost made it. In only a few more moments and we will no longer be seniors. It's remarkable how quickly time seemed to pass this year. Yes, time has seemed quite strange, and not only in our academia, but in our everyday lives. Joyce Carol Oates once wrote, the strangeness of time, not in its passing, which can seem infinite, like a tunnel whose end you can't see, whose beginning you've forgotten, but in the sudden realization that something finite has passed and is irretrievable. Time has the most power control over all of our lives. It dictates all of our actions. We might attempt to control it, but we cannot order of innocence to us as kids. Most of us at some point wished for the day when we were young. Many of our funnest memories originate in our childhood. There are memories of my childhood that I personally hold dear to my heart. The first was my fascination with dinosaurs. I remember an encyclopedia that I used to read all the time about dinosaurs while watching Littlefoot and Ducky in the Land Before Time series. The second memory is of playing dress-up with my sisters and cousins. For a princess, I would sometimes put on 6 dresses at a time to get that magical Disney look with the fluffy skirt. As a child, I thought these pastimes were quite exciting and a logical way to spend one's time. However, these things have now become a thing of my past. The fun and games were nice, but we all have to grow up one day. We cannot stay young forever. I'm not saying that we should forget all we have learned from our childhood. Many of those ideas are priceless, like the dreams of a future career or the value of friendship, but we must now view them through the eyes of an adult. We have to move on to our next stage in life. Just as Adam and Eve were cast out of the garden with the discovery of knowledge, we will also be separated from the blissful fortification that childhood naivety provides. As Graham Greene said in his Power and the Glory, there's always one moment in childhood when Dora opens and lets the future in. Today is that moment. Time is not going to stop or wait for us to adjust in accordance with our own wishes. Today, the world is waiting for us. Today, we must now discard our own dinosaurs' dresses. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Hannah. Liza, would you please come forward?
Today, I'm not going to give a speech. Instead, I'm going to tell you all a story. So here it goes. Once upon a time, there was a girl. She was a dreamer, as lovely as a warm sunny sky. She loved fairy tales and dress up as she pretended to meet her Prince Charming and start her own happily ever after. But that wasn't the end. It was the beginning. She grew up, and life hit fast, just as it always does. She put aside her fairies to go to school and quit playing make-believe to get a job. She didn't have time for these daydreams anymore. She realized just how hard life really is. She saw how it can be bland and monochromatic, unlike her colorful fantasies. She didn't like it one bit. What could she do? As time went on, her dreams began to fade. All of those imaginative thoughts with endless possibilities grew dim. She pinned it down as part of growing up. There was no fairy godmother to come save the day, and no Prince Charming on his way to sweep her off her feet. She discovered that happily ever afters were rare and came only once in a blue moon. She lost hope in those things. But she wasn't satisfied with this. She didn't want to feel this way towards life, and more than anything, she was tired of waiting. Tired of waiting for the days to pass by, or for luck to come her way, or for things to get better. She realized that waiting was going to give her none of those things, and that nothing would materialize without putting hard work into it, even if she sprinkled her pixie dust and said the magic words. She thought to herself, we need less sleeping beauties in the world and more Mulans. Less people waiting around to be saved or made happy, and more people taking the initiative to help themselves and find their own happiness. She realized that a major problem in life was a desire to accept the ordinary and settle for the normal, and she didn't want to do that. She wanted to go on to do bigger and better things. Yet what stood in her way? The answer was nothing. She finally realized that people can do anything that they set their mind to as long as they worked hard enough for it, and more than anything, never go of their dreams. She thought to herself, keep dreaming, hard, and anything is possible. The sky is the limit. Yes, she knew life was hard and not fair all the time, but she discovered it didn't hold her back anymore. Only thing holding her back was herself. Classmates, this girl is like each of us. She's young, talented, unique, just like we all are in our own way. Each of us has the potential to do something great with our lives and live out even our wildest of dreams. So don't settle, don't give up, and keep dreaming. And know that God has a plan for each of us that's greater than anything we can imagine. And with purpose and determination, anything is possible. This might be the end of this chapter of our lives, but this is also the beginning of something much greater. This is the beginning of the chapter of the fulfillment of our dreams. Now back to my story. This girl is happy now. She realized that the future belonged to her, and her fairy tales could actually become a reality. More than anything, though, she realized that she had the ability and opportunity to make her own happily ever after the end.
Thank you, Liza. Miss James and Miss Bussell have one special presentation to make this morning. On behalf of the senior class of 2012, they are presenting Miss Debbie Fels, flowers and a card. Ms. Phelps, they want to recognize you for your commitment and dedication to their education. Thank you. Senior class of 2012, we have seen you do some memorable things. We've seen a 36 on the ACT. We've seen you rank 34th out of 220 high schools in the state of Kentucky in average composite ACT score. We've seen 3 of 51 Singletary scholarships out of over 800 applicants. We've seen one of you almost win a car just this past Thursday night, eligible because of outstanding attendance during their senior year. 37 seniors from South were eligible. We've celebrated $3.44 million in scholarships. We've seen many other academic, artistic, and athletic accomplishments while you were here. And we've seen many of you persevere when the odds were stacked against you. When others said you won't succeed, you proved them wrong. The senior shirt for this year didn't just say Senior 2012 on it. It had the word unstoppable, not just once, not twice, but 6 times. What an appropriate description of the class of 2012. I want to challenge you as you leave here today to follow your dreams, to follow your ambitions, and above all, remain unstoppable. And now we come to the purpose we are all here for, the awarding of diplomas. During the awarding of the diplomas, you will hear reference to the Commonwealth Diploma, as well as a reference to the Honors Diploma. While the Commonwealth Diploma indicates that the student completed a minimum of 4 advanced placement classes in specific areas and participated in a minimum of 3 AP exams, the Honors Diploma indicates that the student completed a minimum of 3 advanced placement classes and participated in a minimum of 2 AP exams. Mr. Fintress. As principal of South Laurel High School, I hereby certify that these senior students before you today have successfully completed all requirements for graduation from the Commonwealth of Kentucky, the Laurel County Board of Education, and the School-Based Decision-Making Council. They are eligible to receive a diploma or certificate of completion. So on behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration, it is my distinct privilege and great honor to present you these candidates for the graduation of the class of 2012.
Mr. Cummins, on behalf of the Laurel County Board of Education, I accept these students as graduates of South Laurel High School, class of 2012.
In order to honor each of our seniors, we would ask that you hold your applause till the end. Thank you very much. No, that's not what I told them to do, but anyway. Ayet Amjad Ali, Brianna Elizabeth Allen, Amanda Ann Osbrooks, Kelsey Lauren Arnold, Sally Rebecca Arnold, Marlena Ray Arthur, Kaylin Deshay Baker, Rebecca Nicole Baker, Rihanna Victoria Barker, Taylor Sheree Barton,
Jordan Scott Allen, Wesley Allen, Alexander Anders, Michael Bridger Antos, Joseph Dean Bailey, Wesley Becker, Alex Berry, Caleb O'Neill Blair, Edward James Bloom, a Commonwealth Diploma candidate, Joseph Daniel Boggs,
Shelby Marie Beard, Natasha Amber Bennett, Commonwealth Diploma, pardon me, Commonwealth Diploma candidate, Jennifer Lynn Bloom. Rebecca Frances Bowling. Claudia Guadalupe Bracino. Brittany Nicole Brock. Erica Lachey Brock. Bethany Suzanne Brown. Candace Faye Brown. Helen Tran Buey.
Nicholas Bolins, Evan Thomas Brown, Justin Lee Brown, Ricky Burdine, Devin Thomas Burkhart, Travis Austin Burns, Jeffrey Todd Bush, Warren Christopher Chipley, Austin Tate Klontz, Cody Preston Coffey,
Stevie Giselle Burnett. Commonwealth Diploma candidate, Bevan Haley Burns. Sarah Elizabeth Burns. Commonwealth Diploma candidate, Katie Ann Burr. Commonwealth Diploma candidate, Liza Bell Bussell. Allison Annette Cassidy. Morgan Alexandria Castillo. Jessica Ann Chappell. Haley Michelle Klontz. Macy Alexa Noel Klontz.
Zachary Evan Cornett, Tyler James Cromer, Aaron Douglas Cunningham, Tyler Dane Cundiff, Jamal Daniel Dowd, a Commonwealth Diploma candidate, Charles Stephen Davis, Christopher Tyler Day, Brady Keith Ellison, Andres Antonio Espinosa, Charles Randall Scott Farthing,
Mary Elizabeth Collett. Commonwealth Diploma candidate, Kaylin Ray Collett. Brooklyn Page Combs. Shelby Lane Cooper. Commonwealth Diploma candidate, Cindy Dow. Hillary Lynn Davenport. Laura Renee Davis. Taylor Brooke Davis. Whitney Joanne Davis. Kendall Logan Deaton.
John Isaac Frazier. Kirby Frazier. Bradley Mendel Foltz. Justin James Gaines. Michael Gavin. Beckham Alexander Gibson. Tyler Good. Jeffrey Logan Hale. A Commonwealth Diploma candidate, Lucas Garrett Hale. Johnny Ray Hammock, Jr.
Anne Mary DeSheen. Shayna Nicole Parker Ellison. Courtney Ruth Fetters. Casey Shay Finley. Summer Nicole Finley. Commonwealth Diploma candidate Destiny Lynn Fisher. Caitlin Jean Fragosa. Tasia Marie Fry. Haley Christian Gibson. Commonwealth Diploma candidate Larissa Marie Gilreath.
Commonwealth Diploma candidate, Jacob Seth Hensley. Joshua Lawrence Hensley. Douglas Lee Holt. Eugene Hopkins. Joshua Daniel Howard. Brandon Mitchell Hunt. Jared Schuyler Blade Hunt. A Commonwealth Diploma candidate, Caitlin Murray. Austin Randall Nance. Cameron Seth Norman. Trevor Jordan North. John Leslie Payne. Jonathan Scott Howell. Nathaniel Christopher Price. Eric Michael Willett. Robert Logan Reeves. Logan Janelle Diaz. Bryce Sargent. Cody Shepard. Stephen Allen Simpson. Daniel Urban Skinner. David Kelsey Smallwood. John Bernard Smith. Ryan Dale Smith. Jake Ryan Steele. Carrie Renee Morris. Brianna Michelle Nelson. Marie Nelson. Becca Meeker. Jana Perry Holmes. Kenzie Brooke Osmond. Samantha Nicole Owens. Commonwealth Diploma candidate Susan Jennifer Pennington. Erin Michelle Randall. Christina Renee Green.
hate how they didn't bring it enough water. It pissed me off. Yeah, I don't know. It's loaded in it.
come forward representing the class of 2012. Guests, family, friends, and faculty, it is my honor to now present you the graduates of the class of 2012. Tyler, please lead the senior class in the turning of the castle.
here.